Hello there. Happy Friday. Positive mental energy. We're on location. The set is a little bit different this time because we're doing the album tomorrow. We just done a festival in Sweden and we just come back. It was fucking brilliant. The band were fantastic. Really, really positive vibes. Posy vibes. Fucking buzzing on them. And then tomorrow we're in there, boom, with the drums. Oh, it's going to be great. So yeah, this is the environment for this one. And I'm going to jump in there with both feet and ask a question. Oh, I must thank Mimi Olsen. I got back yesterday and this t-shirt was waiting for me. It's a Whale t-shirt. I love the band Whale. And from a 98, was it 98 tour? Well, it's a tour t-shirt and the lovely Mimi Olsen sent it to me. So thank you so much. I fucking love it. My new favourite t-shirt. Right, so kicking off today from Sean, who says, if you could put your own festival, here we go, put your own festival together where it be held, who would be the acts you would like to see? You've played loads of different guitars over the years. Do you prefer a specific type, configuration, or pickup? Right, the festival. Well, we're going to try and put a festival together next year, and I want it to be all northern bands. I can't say who yet because we're going to be finalising that with official people. But festival, where would it be? Well, there you go. There's the answer. It would be in the north. It would be celebrating northern spirit, and, you know, the north will rise again. And it's going to be gorgeous. And I can't tell you what bands are on yet. Lots of guitars. What do you prefer? I gotta say, after all these years, a Gibson Les Paul. It's just me and him just get on with. If it's a good Les Paul, I've played some dog shit Les Pauls in the years. Believe you me, they're not all fucking what they're cracked up to be. But when you get a good one, producer Phil found me my current one, which is a 77 or 78 Tobacco Sunburst, about 78. Back when they made them with wood. Oh, it's like butter. It's beautiful. I do love BC Rich guitars, and it's just because, you know, Aerosmith. I blame Aerosmith. I blame Joe Perry. You know, just that when the first time I saw a BC Rich bitch, and I was just like, that's talking to me loud and clear. So I love me BC Riches, but, you know, if I use a guitar for studio and live, it would always be a really good Gibson Les Paul. Although I do have a beautiful Yamaha SG that I also covered, both of which are going to be featuring predominantly on the new Wild Hearts album. Matt Evans asks, hi Ginger, ever thought about releasing a coffee called Caffeine Bomb? I'd buy it. We did. We tried. We had the coffee. It used to go up to strength 5, and now it goes to strength 6. I think what was 5 is now 6. I think ours was 7 or 8 or something. It was a motherfucker of a coffee, and it was going to come in an embossed Caffeine Bomb coffee tin, with the cover of Caffeine Bomb, so you could like feel it, you know. And the last moment, it kind of just went off the boil, and I kind of regret that because I like doing stuff that I use. And obviously, a good strong coffee is always going to be welcome. So I still would like to do that. But a Caffeine Bomb, as you all probably know, isn't just coffee. It's coffee and Jack Daniels and lots of sugar. And the sugar gets the Jack Daniels into your bloodstream really quick, and the coffee gives you a kick up. And that's a Caffeine Bomb. So there you go. Yes, the answer is. Sam asks, how was the festival this weekend? Are you playing any more in this country? Bone of contention moment here. No, we're not. We're not playing fucking anything in this country. We haven't got any gigs booked. We're going to rectify that though, and by the end of this year, we are going to be on the road. And I know I said I wanted to do something intimate, but you know what? In my heart, in my gut, in my stomach, in my groin, I want it loud. I want to go out there and I want to fucking destroy some venues. So I think we're going to book a nice little, well not little, but a medium-sized electric tour for the end of the year. And that's going to be fucking great. But no more festivals. Apart from Steelhouse, obviously. We're playing Steelhouse on the 25th of July, I believe, which is 2 days after we finish the album. We finish the album, we do the warm-up for the Steelhouse gig in a place called Holmfirth, and then we do Steelhouse. That's going to be such a fucking celebration. Some of the shit we've been getting through. I just find myself now at a point where there's just loads of tests, loads of challenges, and I fucking like a good challenge. Oh, I've got producer Taylor here. He's set me up here. Hello, Taylor.
Hello.
I like a challenge, and I've been getting a lot of challenges. And the thing is with challenges, when you rise to the occasion, more come. And you're getting to that point where I'm in the fray. Keep them coming. Keep me busy. And I'm just fucking dealing with negativity with so much positivity. The band being in Sweden, getting a hangout, just, hanging out after the show. Just us shooting shit, sitting on the road, like you did when you were kids, and just feeling this real massive positive energy that I kind of get away from. It's fucking consuming me, I tell you, consuming. I love it. I love it. So yeah, really, really going through a lot right now and fucking loving it. Rubber John says, I have a couple of versions of Church of the Brokenhearted. The Silver Ginger version, the Snake vocal, fucking hell, the demo. By far my favourite version is what I believe was an old demo. However, I can't work out who's singing vocals on it. Didn't sound like anyone familiar. Any ideas? Yeah, me. It doesn't sound much like me. A, because I was younger. And B, because I couldn't hit the notes. I had no range when I started. I used to just shout and go, oh, well, that's as high as I can shout. That's me range. And I didn't know what I was doing. And I did a demo at Church of the Brokenhearted when me and the choir boys departed. Oh, I got to see the choir boys this weekend. That was fucking hilarious. Oh my God, what a meta moment. Watching the choir boys and Carol's filming me, watching my old band. Brilliant. Yeah. It was me singing on that original one that you heard, but it was just to get me doing something. I didn't have a band, didn't have anything to do. So I did these demos, and there was a clause in the contract that said, the leaving member clause, which we mentioned in Slaughtered Authors. If you have any music, they have first dibs. So I just went in, did this demo, and just went in there and said, this is me. But I couldn't hit the notes, so I speeded it up, so it didn't sound a lot like me. And we got a deal straight away. On the strength of that one song, we got a deal, and the Wild Hearts went in the studio. Bizarre times. But yeah, that is me singing on that original. That was funny. I haven't heard that for fucking years. I'd love to hear that. Someone send me a copy of that or a link on Twitter or here. Please. There was 3 songs. I remember there was 3 songs there, and Willie Dowland produced it. There you go. It's a nice little fucking convenient sync there. Ad Braley, a question or two about singing and your voice. What tips, pre-show rituals do you have, if any, to keep your voice healthy? And how do you find your original singing voice? I know it's changed from non-Geordie to Geordie recently. Is it easier to sing now, or do you think it was easier to sing in the early days? Right, I could take my glasses off of this one because it's a bit of a biggie. I did my finding my singing voice in front of people. We couldn't find a singer. Got this deal, like I just said. We were playing live, and I was just learning to sing in front of people. So I was effectively awful in front of people for a very long time. I didn't know what you were supposed to sing. I never wanted to be a singer. So I just figured I'll copy off Jake Burns from Stiff Little Fingers, Steve Albini from Big Black, and Robin Zander from Cheap Trick. And that was my 3 kind of go-to. So there was I didn't have my voice, my accent. I didn't have any personality. I was just trying to figure out as I went along. I lost my voice once, and this wonderful woman who sang, Yolanda Quarty, and she sang on Petty Moore from the Gas sessions. Amazing woman, amazing voice, and she gave me some great advice. She said, don't forget your inner hooligan. I mean, what the fuck is that? Well, if you think about it, babies and hooligans never lose their voice. So whatever voice you've got that comes out loud and strong, use that one. And I'd lost my voice, and the only way I could do, what was the song? It was That's a Nasty Habit You've Got There from the Gas sessions, was just shout it in a Geordie accent, and it worked. And since then, and as my confidence has been building, I tend to sing in my own voice more than I used to. So I think it's just a case of not wanting to just sing in a Geordie accent, but finding myself through the medium of singing. And it's been a weird journey because I still hate singing, but I've gotten into it, and I'm kind of good at it. Warming up, I'm the wrong person to ask about warming up because I never, ever, ever warm up to play a gig, and I never warm up to go in the studio. So the first vocal takes I do in the studio are always absolutely shit. So I've been doing warm-ups, and my idea of warm-up is I just sing songs that I know are out my range, and I push myself to sing higher notes. Let the voice break, come back brighter, break again. I've been singing quite a bit, Walking Maggie, and singing the demos of the new songs we're going to record. And Yeah, I think my voice is good. I tested it on stage in Sweden, and it lasted really well. I'm happy with my voice when it's happy, but I'm just not when it is. I haven't got the need for adoration that makes a great frontman. I think that's my thing. I also think within that I've developed something that people like, and I'm still working. Whereas I've known some amazing singers who can't get work. They're not even making music anymore. So whatever it is I've got, whatever it is I've been through, and wherever it is I've ended up right now, it's working for me thanks to you lot. Yeah, I think I'm just not a traditional singer. Long may it last. Orange Tire asks, funnily enough, I was first introduced to you by seeing you interview Ace Frehley. Oh, that was awful, wasn't it? For the Rock and Roll Geek Show. I was wondering if you had any memories of this encounter, how you wound up doing the interview in the first place, and have you spoken to your thoughts on Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley before? What are your thoughts on Ace? I hated doing it. I was roped in. Do you want to meet Ace Frehley? Of course I do. Okay, do you want to do an interview with him? Well, I'm here now. I might as well. So we got a load of questions from people. And one of the questions, I don't even want to repeat it, but it was horrible. And I wasn't even thinking, and I had jet lag, and I just came up asking all these questions, and it was horrible. It was horrible. Really cringe. Really cringe. If you want to see me look as fucking cringe as possible, go and check it out on YouTube. Now, have I spoken about your thoughts on Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley before? To you? Spoken about them to you? I don't think so. I think when I was a kid, I loved Kiss, but it was before I got learned to play the guitar. I hadn't heard a lot of different bands. I went kind of straight from Sweet and Slade to Kiss, and it was still just entertainment, like ooh, loud, colourful, wild. And so Gene Simmons was obviously the fucking monster, so good. Back in his day, Gene Simmons was a fucking absolute beast and such an icon. When you think that Gene Simmons was arguably the most famous face in America at one point, but he kind of invented that whole thing for him. Absolute total kudos. Paul Stanley, in his day, was just the best frontman in the world, and there's no denying it. He looked amazing. His voice was great. Fucking brilliant on stage. His stage banter, I could give and take, but he was great when they were hungry, when they were young, when they were doing it for the music. When then they started doing it for the money, and then these other personalities came in. And it was almost like Paul Stanley lost his sense of humour, because in the 70s, you watch any interview with Kiss from the 70s, and Paul Stanley's funny, And Gene Simmons is evil, and that was great. And then Gene Simmons just turned into this sex pest that rubbed, me the wrong way, not literally, figuratively. And all he talked about was getting women. I mean, Christ almighty, I was in a band, I could get women, You're in a band, you get women. Guitars do that if you want. And Paul Stanley's just start getting weird and bitter. And now when I hear him slagging off people from the group, it really winds me up, because he is nothing without the band Kiss. And I really do think he needs to appreciate that. Whatever his opinions of the people in the band that he fell out with, obviously he has negative opinions, but you don't have to air them all the time, Paul, because it turns you into a negative person. So yeah, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, they're both. I've met them both when I was a kid, when I was still kind of a fan. Both easily the most disappointing people I'd ever met in music, just because of the ego. And it was weird. It's like I'd met Lemmy, and Lemmy was this giant on stage, and this really humble, funny, this manner about him that just struck me as being, that's what rock gods are like. Kiss were like their personalities on stage, off stage. They really did believe that they were all that, because they were making money, getting girls, living the lifestyle, but they didn't get the punchline. They didn't realise that they're fucking entertainers. And so when I met them both, they were both behaving in such a rude, weird, ever so weird. I didn't take to them at all. And I find Gene Simmons fascinating, but he just keeps putting his foot in it. And he said too many horrible things, especially when Robin Williams died. He said some stuff there that is just beyond what I can stomach from a person when it comes to depression and its effect on other people. Not really my thing. What do I think about Ace? Ace is funny. Ace is like Danny. He's just like one of these guys that he's just trying his best. He's got his demons, and he's a bit of a victim in certain ways of them. But he's still got that Ace thing. He's still got that funny laugh. And he's still Ace. He's still one of the only guitar players that you can whistle the solos. And as a kid, you can learn the solos, which again, I didn't get into Rush because I was no way I was going to be able to learn those, but I could learn Ace Frehley's stuff. Very important. And then Ramones came next, and that was like, I can learn all these songs. And that was a good one. But yeah, I like Ace Frehley. He's at heart a good guy with problems like we all have. And he's still here and he's still a legend. I've listened to Greetings from Shitsville, says Abel Manmoth. Abel Manmoth. Abel Manmoth. One of them's got to be right. I've listened to Greetings from Shitsville on cassette, tape, vinyl, CD, MP3, FLAC, and everywhere else, but I still can't hear the saxophone part. Is it playing the main riff, or am I missing something? Also, when do you know when certain instruments suit certain tracks? I'll answer the first part. First, the saxophone part. We had Sarah Smith from Cardiacs, you probably know that, came down and realised that we just went, go in there and just jam, and we'll just keep all the stuff. And she was like, well, I don't really jam. Tell me what you want me to play. And I was like, I hadn't even thought. So I said, well, can you just go, no, 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 no. He goes, while we stay here, God only knows, it's not the scenery. No, 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 no. The sax is there. And, it was played good enough, but not it didn't really stand out enough to make it a real big feature. So it's in there somewhere. And that pleased us as Cardiac fanboys. The second one, for certain instruments, certain songs, when I write, I hear the song finished. In my head, I hear the production. And so it goes from, okay, well, you start by going down and making a little acoustic demo, and you're chipping away all the processes until it gets to that final thing where you've got the produced thing. But I can hear that produced thing in my head. And I've always been like that. So if there's an instrument on there that serves the song, it's because it was in there probably before the lyrics came. Oh, that'd be nice for that song. And it's always been the same. I think about music in like 3D. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I hear music completed, and I still do. I'm getting new songs now coming in for the album after the one that we're going to record next week, and they're all finished. It's a funny world being me. Ian says, if it don't splatter, it don't matter. That's a t-shirt right there, mate. Fucking awesome. Yeah, you're right. If it don't splatter, it don't matter. But there's not really splatter movies anymore, is there? I wish there was. We talked about this on the podcast before, but I wish people would just go back to making pointlessly gory films with nothing else really going on. And that's what I mean by if it don't splatter, it don't matter. I don't want plots. I don't want subplots. I don't want interesting characters. I don't want even victims I can identify with. I just want an indiscriminate mad person slashing people in various ways. And I don't want them all killed in the same way, Get fucking inventive. That's what I like. And this is another one from Ian. Is it the same Ian or is it a different Ian? I presume it's the same Ian. One of the most underrated bands, in my opinion, is Half Man, Half Biscuit. Been a fan since the 80s, still doing great albums and on their terms. Are you a fan, Ginger? Fuck yeah. I love Half Man, Half Biscuit. I was lucky enough to get to know them kind of for some reason. I've got to know Nigel a little bit just online from emails, but we've talked to each other and let each other know that we like what each other do, which is still never gets boring. When you can like a band and tell the person who's the head of the band like what it means to you. I love that. But lyrically, I think they've inspired me more than any band I can think of from this country. Just because his lyrics are always thoughtful and funny. Always funny. And my favourite lyric, which I think was my gateway drug to them, because I got into them late. I wasn't really into them. I wasn't aware of them earlier on. And I think Chris Catalyst told me, oh, you got to listen to Actung Bono. And there's a song on there, what is it? I can't remember what the song is called, but there's a brilliant lyric on there that says, is your child hyperactive or is he perhaps a twat? And when I heard that, I was just like, that's me, top to bottom, right from that angle to that angle, right over there. That's completely me. And then since then, been finding so much joy from, rifling through. One of those bands where you listen and fucking, well, they don't always put the lyrics on, but I listen to the words. I want to digest those words. And he's one of the best lyricists Britain's ever produced. Definitely one of the funniest. So I absolutely love Half Man, Half Biscuit. And I'm trying to think of my favourite album. Probably Actung Bono, because it's just banger after banger. Funny, Funny as fuck. So yeah, check that one out.